Good morning, my fellow Cyberpunk 2077 fanatics. I have some insane, exciting news to tell you guys. Photo mode in Cyberpunk 2077 has officially been revealed. This is insane. It is huge. And you guys, all of you people out there that are so skeptical about first person being a good thing for this game, not being able to see your V that you create, your mercenary, your very own character in Night City, this is going to put all that to rest, I can assure you. I watched this shit this morning while I was throwing back my espresso and my coffee trying to find a video to put together for you guys. This came up on the official Cyberpunk 2077 YouTube page. I checked it out and yeah, it took the cake. I am making a video on it just because of how crazy it is. Even if you aren't a photographer, even if you're not a content creator, if you fucking are, dude, like this is insane. You're gonna love this so much. You're gonna stand up and jump, dude. I'm not even kidding. But anyway, even if you're not, this is going to make you feel a lot better about this game. You can see your character in all its glory in this photo mode. I'll do you the favor of going screen by screen and give you every little thing that you need to see, okay? So don't worry, check it out, and then you'll walk away from today's video that much more stoked for Cyberpunk 2077, as if you couldn't be more stoked, but here you go. Check this out. Fanatics, what do you think of the photo mode in Cyberpunk 2077? Like the posing, the moving your character in this scene? Are you kidding me? I've never seen this in a photo mode before, except for like the Rockstar editor, and even that's not really on par with this type of photo mode. That's a little different. You can't like adjust things live in this scene like this. I've never seen this before in a photo mode. I mean, I've seen poses in other games, but like this is a whole different level. Correct me if I'm wrong. If there's another game out there that has this and it's this good, call me out on it in the comments down below. I'm just so hyped. I can't believe it. As a content creator, this is gonna make my thumbnail so sexy. But anyway, let's analyze this thing. Okay, let's check it out. First things first, we have this first shot with V posed up with the gun, swinging it to the left side of her body, and we can see that we have category, action, pose, roundhouse shot to the face. I love the titling there. Muzzle flash on, so I'm guessing that's what we're seeing there with that effect. Otherwise it would just be, you know, the gun by itself. Then we have expression set to neutral in this scene, and we can see here that V is in fact in a neutral expression state. Rotate degrees, and that's what I'm talking about, moving the character in the scene. You can actually rotate V however you want, and then left and right, close and far, character visible on or off. So you can take a shot and turn your character off to make it to where you can just take a scenic shot and stuff, and that's sick too. But close and far is going to push V away from the camera or bring them closer, and then left and right is going to obviously move them left and right in the scene. Now, something I want to note here, this photo looks sick, but if you remember, before it got triggered, the person playing the game was reloading their weapon when they started photo mode, and then the pose is the reason why it looks like V is interacting in combat. In all reality, their character model was just standing there reloading the pistol, and then all of a sudden they're doing this roundhouse shot to the face pose and it looks like an actual fight scene. It's crazy. So let's move on to the next thing here. Next is camera, and camera has 4 options: camera type, preset, field of view, and rotate. Camera type is going to give you the option to have a drone where you can freely move around the scene, and I'm sure there's going to be fixed cameras that will lock on to certain targets you want to lock onto, or maybe certain things in the environment whenever you trigger the photo mode. Preset is set to customization, so I'm guessing that's what the field of view and maybe the just preset settings that you can potentially save, and that's nice. It saves you time and you won't have to worry about resetting all the settings to your liking every time you jump into the editor. Field of view is the 3rd setting here, and it's currently sitting at 60, so it gives it that nice little blur effect to the background, making V pop in the foreground, and that's really cool. I like the attention to detail there, because without blur sometimes your image just falls flat and it's too busy. And lastly, I love this one, rotate. You guys have no idea how much slight little rotation can sell an image, but it really does help a lot, and it's cool to see that it's in here as a feature. Navigating through the menu in this little showcase of the photo mode, CDPR shows off depth of field next. We have 3 settings: enabled, autofocused, and aperture. So enabled, obviously on or off, so if you don't want any blur at all, you can turn it off. Autofocus is going to situate where you're pointing the camera, like centering it up. Wherever you focus that camera, it's going to sharpen and bring that object that you're focused on to the forefront of your image, giving it that crisp look, whereas everything else is going to get that depth of field blur. Then things get a little bit more spicy as we get into the effects. We have exposure, contrast, highlights, vignette, chromatic aberration, grain, and just a simple effect panel where you can toggle certain effects that Cyberpunk 2077 has and CDPR has implemented into photo mode. Obviously, we don't see all of them in this trailer preview, but I would assume they wouldn't hold back with the amount of effects you can choose from. Just to give you guys some brief insight, exposure is going to adjust the overall brightness and like punch to the image. Contrast is obviously going to define the colors more and the shadows and highlights more. Then you have the highlights themselves, which when you crank that up, all the whites in the image are going to go up way higher. And if you bring it down a little bit, you're not going to have nearly as much of a glossy look. And then you have the vignette, which is your border, and that's going to give you that shaded outside edge. You have chromatic aberration, which is like that 3D effect where it gives you the blue and red on all the edges of your objects. Then you have the grain effect, which is kind of like that old staticky look, that old staticky television look. And of course the effects, again, we don't see all of them here, but I'm assuming there's going to be quite a bit. As if CDPR wasn't styling enough already, they have this extra flare tab where you can throw in some stickers, a frame, and a background. Man, I feel like I need to give a moment of silence for this. This is just too good, man. This is too good, you guys. What do you think of the photo mode so far? What do you think of all these details? You let me know down in the comments below, and let's check out this next scene where somebody literally blows up what looks like a propane or gas tank just for the sake of a photo. Gotta respect it. In this portion of the trailer, the footage doesn't show off any new menu features. We actually did cover all those in the first photo that was taken with that combat scene. But in this scene, we get to see a little bit more poses and the options you have. So I'll kind of pan through and stop on certain ones when this person is going speedy fast through the options. And I gotta say, the katana one looks pretty sick, but I love how this person settled on like the rising sun or the namaste, whatever that is, like yoga pose, and the happiness expression with the blown up background. It's pretty comical. I get the creativity approach, but guys, this just kind of sets the tone for what you'll be able to do. You can just navigate through the environment, blow something up, pause the game for photo mode, do all kinds of cool stuff with it. I guarantee a lot of fans and players are going to spend hours just trying to get crazy photos in this game, and I'm all for it. CDPR continues on after blowing up that propane tank to show off a lot of the backgrounds, the stickers, the frames, and all that cool stuff. If you guys want to pause throughout this little footage showcase, you can to see a lot of these. It goes so quick, but for the most part, the ones that I'm seeing the most are the V overlay, the Cyberpunk overlay, the Samurai logo overlay. Overall, awesome stuff. Showing off the trailer again just a little bit more. I love all these little different things you can do to these photos. Also, the poses are just awesome in general, like seeing the character on top of buildings, leaning against beams and stuff, and also V diving with her gun in combat. This stuff is going to make for some awesome photos in game. But the last thing I want to point out here that's actually really sick is the fact that V can sit on top of vehicles. You can take photos near objects and reposition V with the photo mode settings and features to get them on top of a vehicle or an object in the surrounding in the environment. That is crazy. I love it. And I love here how it's showing that even though the boot is slightly hanging off the hood of the car and it's not like fully accurate to where the character would be sitting, it still looks good, and it just shows that it's one of those things that you can work. You can work it to your liking, and guys, to me, that's the cherry on top. And while that is the cherry for me, being able to sit on top of vehicles and things in the environment, for some of you guys watching, you fanatics out there, the cherry on top is the fact that you can still take photos of your character while they are in a vehicle or on a vehicle. This is 100% confirmed by the photos we are seeing being taken in photo mode while V is on a motorcycle. So there you have it, Cyberpunk 2077 fanatics, Fiasco family, everyone watching, big ups for tuning in. If you are hype for Cyberpunk 2077, leave a like rating down below to show it off. And if you feel like the hype is overhyped for the hype of the hypest game ever, then leave a like rating for photo mode at least, right? Or just to support the channel. But Cyberpunk 2077 is right around the corner, you guys, and as soon as it comes out, you bet your ass I'm going to be making tons of content on every little thing I can. I have no idea what I'm going to do when we get started, but I know I'm going to be pumping out insane content for you guys to enjoy. And if you're enjoying the style here, you're enjoying the aesthetic, consider subscribing because we are full on Cyberpunk 2077 here, Chumba. I know the job and I'll get it done right, okay? I hope to see you in the next one. Later.